I also added the refusal letter to my application. I know of a nurse whose visa was refused or denied, and it's because she lied that Hi guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Antigua. So today I am going to talk about the documents you need for a successful Tier 2 visa application, right? The UK visa system is arranged in tiers. There's Tier 1 for entrepreneurs and investors, and there's Tier 2 for skilled workers, under which we have the health and care visa, and there used to be Tier 3 for low skilled workers, and there's Tier 4 for students who have gained admission to UK schools and are coming over to study, right? So as a Tier 2 visa holder myself, I will be talking today in this video about documents you need for a successful Tier 2 visa application, right? So in order not to be denied the visa because you didn't submit the required document, I'm going to assist you today and let you know all the documents that you need. If you're being assisted by an agency, if an agency has gotten you the job and they're helping you, with the whole process of becoming a nurse in the UK, you don't need to worry so much, and you can even click off this video. I won't get hurt, right? This is because the agency is definitely going to give you the list of the documents you need. However, for direct applicants, especially nurses from any of the 47 countries where active recruitment has been banned and you're applying directly, you may want to watch this video to the end. So the UK operates a point-based system when it comes to their visas, right? So what this means is that there are some specific requirements that you have to meet in order for you to gain enough points to be awarded a particular visa. If you are applying for a Tier 2 visa or a skilled worker visa, you need 70 points, right? And the 70 points will be based on some specific documents that you are submitting. These are the documents that will earn you those 70 points. Most important thing, first of all, is that you should have a passport. A passport. If you have previous passports as well, you should attach them and submit them as well. So make sure that your passport has at least one front and back blank page, so that you'll know where they'll have a space to place your visa. You understand? You should have a job offer from an approved or a licensed sponsor. Okay, so your employer should be recognized as the Home Office and should be a licensed sponsor. Getting an offer from this sponsor alone and proving it when you're applying for your visa gets you 20 points. How can you prove this? By submitting your offer letter, right? And then your offer letter that you're submitting should have your contract hours and then your salary, right? And then also submitting your certificate of sponsorship from your employer. So once you pass your interview, your employer is going to give you something called a COS, or certificate of sponsorship. This COS is like it's just like a work permit, right? It has your employer's license number, and then it also has your certificate of sponsorship number, and you need these details when you're filling your visa application form online. When you're able to get these documents, the offer letter and then the certificate of sponsorship, that gets you 20 points out of the 70 that you need. So now let's focus on the remaining 50. You also being able to prove that the job that you have is at the required skill level also gets you additional 20 points. So if you're a nurse or a doctor, you submitting your degree or your diploma gets you the additional 20 points. Understood? So now we have 30 points left. You also have to be able to prove that you can speak English to the required standard. You are proficient in English, and this also gets you additional 10 points, making what you have 50 points. So this does not go for everybody. If you are from an English speaking country, you don't necessarily need to prove this. You automatically have the 10 points already. I'll put down the list of countries where, if you're from any of these countries, you don't need to prove that you're proficient in English. I'll list these countries in the description below. If you're from any of these countries, you don't need to submit anything. However, if you're not from these countries, you need to prove that you're proficient in English. How do you prove this? By submitting a UKVI IELTS results test, and you should have at least the minimum 4. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the accepted is 4 for becoming a nurse in the UK. The NMC of UK requires that you get band 7 in all. That's speaking, reading and listening, and then at least 6.5 in writing. However, for the immigration or for the Home Office purpose, you need to get at least 4. You understand? So you can still use what you submitted for the NMC when it comes to this. Usually it is the UKVI that is required, but currently, if you're a nurse and you only have just the academic, you can still submit this and then it will be accepted. So that gets you 10 points, making 50. And also you need to meet the minimum salary threshold. Before, it used to be a requirement that whatever job that you were going to do when you get here, you should be earning about 25,600 per year, and that should give you the rest of the 20 points. Now that has been scraped off, especially for people like us where our job is on the shortage occupation list, like nurses, doctors, blah blah blah. Now even if you are not earning that much, or you don't need to meet the salary threshold at all for people whose occupation is on the shortage occupation list. So for doctors and nurses, you don't need to do this. You automatically have that 20 points. So that gives you the 70 points. So these are the like very, very important ones that you have to submit, or you have to prove when you're applying for your visa. There are other documents that you also have to add to help you get this visa. One is a tuberculosis test certificate. So if you're coming to stay in the UK for 6 months or more, you need to prove that you do not have tuberculosis, and you have to go to the approved test center in your country. So I would input links in the description that will take you to approved centers in various countries, right? Get a chest x-ray done, and if they find out that if you're healthy and you have no TB, they will award you with a certificate, which you also attach to your documents when you're coming over, which is very important. Bear in mind that this TB certificate has a 6 months expiry, so don't do it too soon. If you know that you're going to come in December, don't do it in January, because by the time it gets to December, it would have expired. Make sure you do it not more than 6 months before you're coming, right? However, you just have to make sure you have booked so that you get a slot. You understand? Again, for nurses, you also have to print out that form that says that you have passed the CBT, or the part 1 test of competence. You have to submit this email as well. And also you need an overseas police clearance, which is also not more than 6 months old. So with a police clearance, it also has a 6 months expiry, so make sure you don't do it too early in the process. And for the police clearance, if you're a nurse and you've worked in any other country aside the country that you're applying from, you need a police clearance from that country as well, or you need a criminal record certificate from that country as well. And if you've lived in any other country from the time you were 18 years, if you've lived in any other country for more than 12 months, you need a police clearance from that place as well. So yeah, so let's say you've practiced in Nigeria and you've practiced in Ghana as a nurse, you need a criminal record certificate from both of these countries. And let's say prior to you practicing, you went to school in, let's say, Australia, where you studied for 13 months, you also have to get a certificate, a police record certificate from Australia. So you need certificates, criminal record certificates from all these countries for submission. So on the certificate of sponsorship, what I mentioned earlier, or what's also referred to as a work permit, your employer should take the maintenance section, that which means that they are going to support you when you come, like in the first few months or whenever you're in need. If your employer ticks this box, then that means you don't have to prove that you have money in your bank account. However, if you're a skilled worker and on your COS this box is not ticked, you will have to prove that you have enough personal savings by submitting bank statements, okay? And I would input how much you need on the screen so that you know about it. So yeah, basically let's go over the documents again. So you need a valid passport with at least one blank page. You need to submit offer letter or your contract, and then it should state your salary and then your contracted hours. And then you also have to submit your certificate of sponsorship, which also takes maintenance for you and then your dependents if you're coming with your family. And then over there it should have your sponsor license number and your certificate of sponsorship number as well, your degree or your diploma. And then you should submit, if you're not from an English speaking country, you should submit a UKVI IELTS results. You can also use what we call the NARIC to replace the UKVI certificate. The NARIC is basically for people who have a degree taught in English. You can apply for the NARIC. I will input the link in the description. I think it's about £150. You have to get an English proficiency letter from your school, and then also submit your transcripts and your school certificates or your school degree or whatever, and then they are going to issue you with a NARIC, which you can use to apply instead of the UKVI IELTS, right? Tuberculosis test, print out the email confirmation that you've passed the part 1 test of competence or the CBT. police record certificates. If your employer did not take the maintenance, you need to provide bank statements to show that you have enough personal savings to take care of yourself for the first few weeks. If you're going for your visa appointment, after you filled the whole visa application form, you need to also print out a copy of the visa application and then the documents checklist as well. I hope you now have the list of documents that you need, and I wish you all the best in your visa application process. Do not lie in your application. The Home Office hates lies. Do not lie. I know of a nurse whose visa was refused or denied, and it's because she lies that she's never been denied a visa. Meanwhile, she had been denied a UK visa years ago. I don't know if she thought they were going to forget it. The record is there, it's going to show. So they refused her, or they denied her the visa based on the fact that she lied on the application form. I had been refused an American visa prior to my application, my UK Tier 2 visa application. And when I was asked, I said yes, I was refused. They further asked why I was refused. I told them why I was refused. And it wasn't like a big deal. They just said they thought I wouldn't come back because I don't have any ties in my home country. Like I wasn't married or I didn't have kids. And I wrote that there. And you know what I did? I also added the refusal letter to my application to show that whatever I'm saying is true. And even if I had not added, they can check their record and find out why I was refused. Do not lie. Don't try to lie. Once you are caught, you might spoil your chances. Don't lie. Whatever it is, just add it. Like I said, I had been denied an American visa, and I even added the refusal letter. Added it. Once you have a certificate of sponsorship from a licensed sponsor, you are here already, my guy. You're already here. So do not lie on your visa application form. Okay? And another thing I'll say is that do not resign from work too early. You can resign once you have your certificate of sponsorship. Once you have your certificate of sponsorship, then you know, I'm here already. That's when you can submit your resignation letter in your home country if you were working. You understand? So yeah, basically that's it. I'm going to list down all the documents that I have mentioned on the screen so that you see. Okay, thank you. Bye. Subscribe, like, and share. Let's get to 10K. Okay, bye.